All right, so welcome to another rapid fire business story of the week. This is part of our rapid fire series, and today we have an incredible guest with us, someone who's achieved extraordinary success and is here to share their unique business journey with you. We're excited to hear their insights, so let's welcome them to the show. All right, so as this is our rapid fire series, we've got 1 minute or less to answer each question. So, in a minute or less, give us the elevator pitch to your story and your life. Go.
Wonderful. Hi, I'm Vicki. I have over 20 years of experience in the financial services industry. I lead a team in my day job, so I'm also an empowering leader. My journey has been I've launched 2 businesses, one in the wellness space, bringing loose leaf tea for well-being, as well as based on the demand that I've been hearing from women, I've built a community that I called Wealthy and Unstoppable to create female financial girl bosses so that you can own your money and lead your finances like a badass.
So that's fascinating, and I would love to dig a little bit deeper. So tell us a bit more about what you're working on today that you're most passionate about and believe will have the biggest impact.
Absolutely. So I am most passionate about the Wealthy and Unstoppable community that I'm building with female entrepreneurs, as well as women that are working in corporate America, but who just have never been taught about money. We go to school, we gain all of this learning and education, and yet money is not taught to us at home. It's not taught to us at school. We don't know how to invest. We build up credit card debt. We don't know how to manage the credit card debt. And we really don't know how to be the stewards or the leaders of our money. Women are putting their hard-earned dollars in 401k accounts that they don't understand. They're entrusting their money and financial freedom to advisors without understanding why their financial advisors are putting money into large cap or small cap. So I want to come here and I want to demystify money, and I want to demystify and make it accessible. Because here's the thing, there's this rumor out in the world that women are not good with numbers and that women are not good with money. And yet when you look at data, it shows you something very different. We're stronger investors. We tend to be less volatile. We also have contributed over $2 trillion into the economy. When you take a look at the 12 million businesses that have been started in the United States alone. So we are a financial powerhouse. Not only that, there's a huge seismic shift that is happening where women are set to inherit over $30 trillion by the year of 2030. But here's the problem. Women don't know how to steward that money because we haven't been taught about money. So I want to shift your mindset around money, but also teach you the tricks of the trade, meaning understanding the fundamentals of finance so that you know how to go and you lead your money. And if you do work with a financial advisor, so that you at least understand what it is that they are recommending you do with your money.
So this next question is one that every entrepreneur has dealt with. Tell us about a time where you failed. We often say failure is the first step to success. So think about a time where you failed in the past. What happened? What did you learn from it?
Absolutely. So about 10 years ago, I had this amazing idea where I saw this opportunity for price matching digitally our purchases. I was standing in line and I was buying this toothbrush, and this guy takes his phone and he shows the cashier that he can get the same item for much less on Amazon. So the woman just goes and matches him immediately. Whereas for me, I had kids running around. She couldn't do the price match because I couldn't get to my phone fast enough to whip out the different price on Amazon. So that told me that there is a gap in the marketplace where we shouldn't have to, as consumers, go and seek out the price matching on our own, but we should be able to do that automatically. And in fact, our credit card should do that for us. And imagine the stickiness if the credit card were to do that. So lo and behold, fast forward, I figure out how all of this ought to work. I come to my employer, Citibank, and I pitch them the idea. They love the idea, they fund it. But here's the thing. As an entrepreneur, I didn't know how to go from idea to execution. I wasn't really tenacious enough, and I didn't persevere enough to figure out, here it was this big audacious problem, but I wasn't in it to win it. So I didn't keep going. I also allowed fear of failure. I allowed the imposter syndrome to stop me from my willingness to continue to fight when things got really hard. Because here's the thing, there are a billion amazing ideas. And oh, by the way, a very similar product did get launched by the name of Honey. They got bought out by Capital One, a credit card company, because I saw it coming. And they got bought out for $3 billion, and that could have been me. And so when that happened, it was really that moment when I had to sit down and reflect on what prevented me and what stopped me from really taking it to the next level. And it was really fear of failure, imposter syndrome, not being tenacious enough to go out and find the resources and the tech talent that I needed in order for me to be able to secure the resources to really take this idea to market. Because if I had, I would have changed the lives of many consumers, but I would have also been a multi-billionaire today. So there's my story of failure.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. And we're definitely going to have you back on the show to dive deeper into each of these questions. But for now, one thing that I often say is, and I tell this to my employees and the people who work with me and for me all the time, is that when a tree falls in the forest, if nobody hears it, did that tree actually fall? This brings me to this next question. How do you make sure that all of these amazing projects that you're involved in get noticed? What marketing and advertising methods have worked best for you? You've got a minute. Let's go.
Absolutely. Well, the first one is always word of mouth. Your loyal customers are always the best source of new customers. So word of mouth, make sure that whatever you create creates so much value that you become the brand that everybody's talking about and they're telling their friends about. That means over delivering for your customers. That means one-on-one conversations. That means understanding their pain points and their needs. When you get that right, build a community, because that community is going to bring in more customers. So start organic. The other piece that has been great is being a guest on podcasts, building out your email list, continuing to stay top of mind with your customers. So I would say that those have been fantastic. The other way that I also like to create value is by creating long form video formats on YouTube that is truly educational. Same thing on TikTok. I found that when I make longer form videos, 5-6 minutes long, that's when I get the most engagement, because the longer that someone spends time with you, gets to know you, gets to experience your knowledge and gets to experience your energy, the more that they're going to want to work with you. So those are the ways that have been working for me.
That was so awesome. We're definitely going to dive deeper into this on a later show. And as we approach our last question, before we ask people how people can get a hold of you, how people can reach you, learn more about the work that you're doing in your company, and we will include all that information in the show notes. What I wanted to ask you is, what is one piece of advice that you would offer to your younger self? to our audience and to somebody, especially somebody who's just starting out in the same niche that you're in, but just doesn't know how to start or get going. Amazing stuff. We're going to have to thank our guest today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say to my younger self a couple of different things. One is if you have an idea, pursue it. Don't let your self-doubt be in the way of you pursuing exactly what you want to create into the world. Because if you have an idea, that means that there is someone in this world that needs it. That said, also know that you can't just sit and think about the idea. Having an idea is not enough. Figuring out how to execute the idea and going from 0 to 1 is the hardest part. And being entrepreneur, being, the founder of your company is not always easy. And I think that you need to go into this journey with your eyes wide open. Also, talk to your potential customers. Really understand their pain point and what you're solving for them. Understand how and why you are different. Understand what they would be willing to pay for you. Having that customer obsession as the forefront, because at the end of the day, people give you money for the outcomes that you're able to deliver for them. So what outcomes can you actually create? In my business, I'm teaching women how to reduce debt. I'm teaching women how to build their wealth, and I'm teaching women how to end their money scarcity mindset and really shift into the most abundant version of you, both with the mindset portion of it, as well as having the practical tools of understanding what's a cash flow statement, how is taxes treated differently if you're a business owner and an investor versus when you're an employee. So having that practical application in your toolkit. So I would say be tenacious, go for your dream, raise your hand, talk to as many people as you possibly can. Don't give up. It's all available to you. Don't get overwhelmed. Do one thing and do it extremely well.
Today for being a guest on Business Story of the Week. And before we cut out on this episode, I wanted to ask you, how can people get a hold of you? How can people learn more about what you're doing? And how do people engage with you? And we will transcribe this and put it in the show notes for everybody to find.
Absolutely. So you can find me at Vicki D, VICKID.me. That's my website where you can come and learn more about Wealthy and Unstoppable and the community that we're creating. And you can look me up on YouTube, which is Vicki D 3081. So VICKID 3081. You can engage with me there. I'm also on TikTok as Vicki D.1. So these are all the ways that you can get in touch with me.
All right, amazing. So you did it. Thank you for being a guest on the show today. Let me tell you what you can expect next. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all this, we're going to cut it into an episode. It will go on the Business Story of the Week page. So make sure you go on Apple Podcasts, review us, like us, go on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to us on Spotify. And this will come out in the next 30 days or so, depending on our workload and how many shows we have. We have had a lot of interest in the show lately, so we may be a little backed up, but the show will get out. In the meanwhile, we will send you clips that feel free to share on social. Also, the full episode, feel free to share any way that you like. The content is yours to share and put out there. We just ask that you mark us and tag us in the notes if you do. So in the copy, put hashtag Business Story of the Week, link back to us. We would appreciate that. And if you think that you might be interested in doing more podcasts, live ones and studio ones, Zoom ones, Riverside ones, there's a whole host of shows that likely if you did this one and succeeded, you would probably be really great at and a great way of getting your message out. So your host will talk to you about potentially getting you booked on a strategy call for a Business Story of the Week's sister company, Podcast Cola or becoming a YouTube influencer through Viral Mirage. Thanks again for being a part of this. Looking forward to working with you.